petition by anyone to amend the agenda, so it is as written. I'm requesting an approval of the agenda as prepared.
So moved.
I have a motion to approve by Commissioner
Chairman, excuse me.
Griffey.
I need to call roll.
Second, Ertel. And second by Commissioner Ertel. I'm going to table it just a moment because I did jump over the roll call, so give me just a moment.
Thank you. Chairman Brian Griffith,
Here.
Vice Chairman Ben Taylor. Commissioner Taylor is absent. Treasurer Louis Ertel.
Here.
Commissioner Mark Bisecker.
Here.
And Commissioner Arlen Griffey.
Here.
Thank you.
It'll be shown that we have a quorum and we'll continue the meeting. So having tabled the approval of the agenda, again, to reference for the purpose of the meeting minutes, motion to approve given by Commissioner Griffey, seconded by Commissioner Ertel. No further discussion requested, so I'll ask that all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. All in attendance, signify aye, so the motion carries. Moving to public comments. Ms. Tony, has anyone requested public comment?
No, sir.
Second.
Hang on just a second, Commissioner Griffey, I'm going to request. So, Commissioner Bisecker, can I call on you to on the motion to approve, and Commissioner Ertel the second? As I stated, the motion to approve was issued by Commissioner Bisecker, second by Commissioner Ertel. I'm requesting further discussion. So all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
And aye. Motion carries. Moves to section 5, General Manager.
Thanks, sir. We'll start out with the elevated tank project. We're currently working on the punch list items, along with examining the potential need for installing an altitude valve, which will assist our operators in regulating the hydraulics and the flow of the water within that commercial area. And we don't have an engineer here tonight to answer questions, but we'll be looking at that in the near future and getting back with you. Water System Improvement Project Phase 2. The CV developers have been installing the fire hydrants, cutting and capping and making the tie-ins of the new water main. We should be at the tail end of all major work on that project. Lots of dress up and asphalt patches remain to be done. They plan to do the remaining seed and sod through the next couple of weeks. They did have a minor accident which occurred on this project involving a contractor's employee. That employee is doing well, no broken bones, only a minor injury to his foot. I'm happy to report. Water System Improvement Project Phase 3. That project is currently at approximately 88% complete. Water service connections are approximately 65% complete, and fire hydrant installations are approximately 98% complete. In the coming weeks, the crews will be installing 4 hot taps and continuing to test and flush the mains throughout that project. Sewer System Improvement Project Basins 13, 16, and 17. DNA Underground has completed all of the work except about 1,500 feet of force main along Diamond Head Drive East. In the coming weeks, the contractor is expected to continue laying sod and begin working on the Diamond Head Drive East force main. Suncoast is expected to mobilize on Monday, 7/31, to begin cure-in-place plastic lining of the mains. The project is about 59% complete. We had no abandonment easement request this meeting. The drainage ditch along Colo Court area remains steady. As I mentioned before, some erosion is evident, and I do know that the city engineers have been working to obtain easements for the plans on that project, so hopefully that's moving forward on their end. The Makiki Drainage Project, they do have proposed drawings with the city, and that'll be coming up pretty soon. The proposed dog park issues I'd like to bring back up from last meeting. There were a couple of questions since then, and hopefully some of this will outline that for you guys in that report I provided to you, and I'll mention some of the high points here. As I have mentioned, pointed out, and has been pointed out in past district meetings, that particular sanitary sewer manhole structure near the proposed park, as well as the one in the paved area of Diamond Head Drive West, have overflowed in the past during extreme heavy rainfall events. within a short period of time, or hurricane damages, or to the infrastructure, or mass power outages. Those events can cause that to happen. The existing underground sewer main is located through the proposed park area, as we pointed out in the previous letter. The Diamond Head Water Sewer District's state-certified wastewater operators have documented and registered any such events that have occurred there with the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality as required by state law. During an overflow event, the district personnel perform a cleanup process and disinfection and treatment of overflowing water, as approximately 95% of it is always stormwater runoff during these events. Stormwater runoff inundates the gravity sewer system whenever streets are flooded and ditches overflow. Lawn treatments, chemicals, pesticides, cleaning products, solvents, oil, petroleum, spill runoffs, as well as others which are carried by these floodwaters and inundation of stormwater should be a major concern whenever these events happen. These contents have potential to cause much more dangerous environmental impacts. Sometimes people fail to realize that. The Diamond Head Water Sewer District has taken extreme measures to prevent stormwater inflow and infiltration into the sanitary sewer system, which can be understood by reviewing the multiple sewer system improvement projects during the past 5 years. Despite the best efforts and practices, flooded streets still occur and systems may be subject to flooding. This flooding is always forced out at the lowest points first. This particular area of the proposed park is a low point for that section of the sanitary sewer system. As another matter of fact, during or after the consolidation efforts and referendum which was placed onto the ballot in the last election, city election, the existing mayor attempted to use this topic and this location to discredit the district by saying that the park could not be built because there was a sewer leak in the area. Well, that claim was proven to be completely false. Additionally, residents who have lived adjacent to the property for many years have verified that the water has always been present in that area for a long period of time after it rains. This whole issue may have been examined from the beginning when the land was first purchased for the proposed park. The existing underground sanitary sewer piping and nearby manhole structures probably should have been included with the original survey of the property. If not, the Diamond Head Water and Sewer District would have been able to easily go out and mark these utilities, as we do everywhere on a daily occasion, upon a simple request. When the proposed construction drawings were presented to the district, the underground piping and manhole structure were shown in those construction drawings. Someone must have known they existed, else they would have been missing from those drawings. After drawings were received, I dispatched district personnel to mark the location of these underground utilities in January as part of the planning and review process in order for engineers to correct as needed in the drawings and move forward with planning or approvals. The green markings and labeled markers for the existing underground sewer main have remained on the ground throughout this period, and they have been refreshed as needed on a regular basis, I might add. Anyone who has visited the site can see these green markers and green paint. And the last planning and review meeting was held in February 2023 at City Hall, and to this date, final drawings were never presented to us. Recently, it came to my attention via city council meetings where it was said that the city of Diamond Head was moving forward with advertisement for bid of this proposed project, even though final drawings had never been sent to the district. Therefore, I felt it was beneficial to all involved to send an official letter to the city manager dated July 11th, 2023, informing the city officials of the existing underground utility situation. It should be noted, it was not a requirement to notify the city, but I felt it was best for the community to do so. Alternatively, it may have very well cost the city hundreds of thousands of dollars later on when something happened and the district ever needed to enter the property and perform major repairs to the underground utilities. Once again, it seems like to me the public has been misled and misinformed of some facts which are easily proven with minimal research and are not found on social media such as Facebook. With that, I'll take any questions.
I'll start with Commissioners on the phone. Any questions for David on the board?
No questions.
So, I do. This scandal of ping pong has gone on an awful long time, in my opinion. Not one meeting have we seen a single city person. No, we expect to see the city manager, not about any person. At a minimum, we expect to see the public works director, and not much, we expect to see the mayor, sitting
not on our behalf. I've had questions from city officials. I've met with the city manager since then and explained the same things I've explained here. So I'm just bringing it to you guys' attention, what I've already said to the city officials.
What did the city manager say?
Basically, he just listened. He obviously sees the common sense, as you just mentioned, and the fact that the stuff has been there all along. So it's just common sense to me.
Yes.
Well, I want to go to where you say the gaslighting. The gaslighting is solely coming from a faction on social media. That is where the gaslighting is coming from. So if you watch the council meetings, there are some, and I'm not criticizing, there's a lack of communication between all, it appears, because I'm not privy to all their outside of the council chambers, but there appears to be a lack of communication among some members. Some members know some information, others, it appears that it's the first time in hearing these things. Council members. So when the letter from the district was received, it appears that that was the first time that certain members of the council became aware of the situation. The reason they became aware is there was also an agenda item in which the council was entertaining funding the remaining $40,000 needed to proceed. Now, that being said, the gaslighting is coming through social media, and it's coming in ways that there are representations being made by certain city officials that there is no overflow problem, that there are no issues, and that this is the district basically overreacting. The district's not, the long and short of it is, there are utilities in the ground there. It is no different than if it were at your house or at my house. If I choose to put a storage shed over a utility easement, or if I choose to build a fence, I'm at risk. That is all that is. The district has never said we are opposed to this dog park for the city of Diamond Head, and nor would I encourage you to do that. Simply put, if you choose to build a pier over a manhole, and we have to get to that manhole and we have to go through that pier, we're going through that pier. If we've got to get to that line through that dog park and we've got to take those fences or whatever else may be there to get to that because there is health and welfare of the community involved, we're going to go there. And we are not required to reconstruct that infrastructure. This is easily, and so for the engineer to stand in front of the council and say this has all been resolved with the district, when in February they were going back to the drawing board and resubmitting plans, which the district has never seen, that's a miscolor of the facts. That's why it's being brought to you. I do not know why the city has not reached out to the board. I think that is a very good question. If the dog park is that important to certain people, then they should work to help us resolve the issue.
And I know that one commissioner was reached out to, so those questions also prompted me to try and explain to everybody at one time.
Well, it is mind-numbing to me, something as simple as surprise that you would come into an issue if you chose to infrastructure build in an easement, because our infrastructure is in the easement, as it should be. So, this is nonsense.
I would like to say, though, that there are certain members of the city council who, once they became aware of the facts, appear to be more open-minded to getting a resolution, so I applaud that. And it was tabled to allow them the time to do that, so I'm hopeful, but nonetheless, the assertions against the district are being out there, are out there, and as you know, district and the commission has an impeccable reputation. You do a good product, you got a good crew, and I'm just don't want it to, we've got to defend that. And so that's why David and defend the district, because I don't want it to go 2 years down the road and a storm comes and everything's torn up, and then the city comes and says, well, we need $200,000. Well, we don't have an extra $200,000. We don't have any extra money. We're solely rate-based. So that being said, that's why we have to step up when we see something that is being misconstrued or could perhaps long-term be harmful for the district. We've got to stop it when we can.
So let me, I think that is the one, I appreciate that. I think the one aspect of this, which is going to like two points. One, the thing should not be built over existing. Very good. Very good. Would be the opposite. Now it's just getting necessarily, in my opinion, the other track that is done in Tennessee. Too damn, all that. The second thing is yours. And that is, if they proceed, what legal avenues do we have to require written evidence from the city that that infrastructure is overlaid at risk to the tune of our best estimates ranging from X to Y in terms of cost? Should we have to excavate and demolish their sewers or other things? Can you hear that? One thing to have this conversation today, having it embedded in the minutes, that's not enough. Is there a way to turn this into scripted documentation on file that proceed at your own pace?
We
And my other point is, and no, we're not gonna do all that out of pocket, you are going to pay.
Well, first of all, we could do a formal, order of the board to declare that, you know, this infrastructure's in the ground. If you proceed with the dog park and anything, then the district is not responsible. But the cost, there's no way to ascertain what potential costs are. You've seen,
So not
yeah.
ascertaining the dollar value, the fact that however the cost is not gonna be paid over 4 years of attempted extraction back to repay the damages done to the infrastructure. It's gonna be paid in line with the services being rendered to fix X underneath.
I don't think there's any way, I mean, we could certainly try to enter into an agreement with them to do that, but then they would have to agree to do so. They would have to agree to sign the dotted line. I'm not sure they're gonna do that. Number
That
one.
would be good public ceremony.
It would,
See where they sign it.
but I don't know that they would sign that, number one. Number two, then you're looking at, it's no different, it's really no different than Colo Court. When we had to go,
That's exactly where I'm going.
when we had to go in and fix Colo Court, we sent them an invoice and they ignored it.
That's exactly where I'm going. So what pain is there to the city other than to just go fix their thing? Things go as haywire, on unexpected events, as we've outlined in this letter. We're left with these remedies, for those costly for us as well as them. Don't have boardwalk come and fly apart, is the reality is that.
Well, the boardwalk's flying apart because you're gonna have wind beat the wa- yeah.
It wouldn't even take that, as we pointed out, the number of events wouldn't take a hurricane.
That-
Well, that's not all.
That's true. I think what you're looking at that point, quite honestly, is you're looking at whatever our debris removal costs are. Because we're not gonna rebuild anything.
That's right, we have to.
So whatever,
Fix.
and unless they're willing to enter into some type of agreement on that, then you're talking about suing them for the cost.
Well, I think an agreement would probably be reasonable since, they need water there.
Simply need what?
Water connection.
100%.
Okay, well, that's a different addition to the equa- yeah, that
Exactly.
that
Exactly my
changes
point.
the dynamic, so perhaps they would be.
Yes.
Not to sound
Well, that,
unreasonable, but
no, that's a very
you
good point.
want water, agree to.
That's a very good point. It's something that I don't advocate y'all rush into a decision, but you do need to consider it because they wanna build that dog park there. The way that this gaslighting is going, alternative sites are threats to human, well, nobody wants to use that, that's dangerous. Well, really?
But let's back up on a couple of points. Maybe I got lost in the very cool. You see how this keeps recurring, getting on its own. Because it keeps recurring, at some point you got to put it to death, right? So, anything I suggested doesn't end the dog park. It says modify the dog park to accommodate infrastructure that's in the ground. Go to and design C if you have to, but understand you were robbed by engineer A, not isolating the infrastructure that's in the ground and gave you a core product B. Go to C. Is essentially what I'm saying. Because no, we're not mixing the dog park. We're mixing the vision of this here, or something else that's sitting in dead cement on top of the park. Move it and confine a footprint of the land available.
And I think had the district been presented with some final plans, we perhaps could have had a discussion, hey, this might not work because of X, but we never got the plans.
That's one of my major points that I'm trying to point out to everybody. In a construction process, or planning process, we all meet, we all review, we all talk, we all discuss. The entities together and engineers on both sides and such. We never reached that point of finality that we usually do on other projects. So when it came to my attention, they were advertising for bid, naturally, we're like, wait, there's a little legal matter here we need to point out. That's all.
I will, go back to what I said, I didn't really talk of. You buy services of surveyor and engineer to isolate the obstacles in the way of your business, in the footprint that you're planning. And either they do it and disguise it, they're incompetent, this job is isolated, whatever. But anyway, problem is, they don't understand that it's there. It can be really at a cost if they are willing to pay to ride. And so the dream can be maintained where the footprint, right? Yes, sir. They can pay to ride. They don't like the price tag of that, right? But they could pay to ride.
So we go back to where we kinda got to, so what is the will of the board? What would you have us do?
I don't know at the moment, but I hope everybody heard the question. You asked the common question, what would we have them do? The letter is admittedly for me, but I read it most of it about it. Very comprehensive, like I said, and I hadn't asked myself, giving up David your time for 3 lengthy pages of 101. This is tremendous, but very well detailed. A little bit of personality going in there, a couple of places, but I recognize that.
Yes, sir, I'll email it to them. They don't have it now, no. I didn't know who would be calling in.
Gets it to you, but anyway, suffice it to say, along with the letter and everything else, again, this is becoming the vortex and we want out of.
Yes.
We want to, kind of put our stake in the ground and move on. Right?
Exactly.
It is so far, one thing he left out, and there was a little bit of confusion, but district personnel had to go meet with people on the committee at the site during this past week to answer questions. Enough. You know, we didn't pick the site, this group didn't pick where the lines are, didn't pick where the they were there when they got there. And so the infrastructure is there, it's always been there, nothing's changing, and so to go and to waste these guys' time, we don't have enough people as it is to do everything we gotta do. And so now we're having to go appease these committee members and answer questions, which we're here to answer questions for the public, but in a regular way, not having to go under some pretense of something going on out there. So yeah, this vortex is getting wider, and it's going on way too far.
Now you're basically further simplifying that statement. How we would go out that Facebook or social media. Because all you do is hide behind the chicken coop move. You try to spin up crap that you're not prepared to get in that microphone and go one-to-one with us.
That's exactly right. Mr. Pellegrin, are you on the dog park committee?
No,
So not a one of them came.
that's what I'm saying.
Forget the city, we know they don't come, but not even the dog park committee, and they were writing stuff about their understanding of how the district operates, and the letter we wrote, and what we said, and all this conjecture, completely misguided, and I felt sorry for the lady, because I think she was repeating what she was told, but it's just this domino effect that's gotta stop.
Understood. Okay, thank you. Moving on. I know everybody says thank you. All I gotta do is design the dog park, right? Just move on, right? Cobble together the funds and build it. If you're doing it right, well, we can't do it definitely. All right. So now we'll move to section 6, construction and engineering project. 6.1 specifically, there is no action tonight. 6.2, water system rehab phase 2, phase 1 project in the water tower, 6.2A. Requesting motion to approve visual engineering invoice number 728-1312-26 in the amount of $1,250 for the time period of May 28, 2023 through July 1st, 2023, the remaining balance of $3,962 on this contract. Can I get a motion to approve? Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Ortel,
Second.
second by Commissioner Griffey. None calling for further discussion, so all in favor of approval of this motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All in attendance unanimous, then that motion carries. 6.3, water system rehab phase 2 project, 6.3A specifically, requesting a motion to approve digital engineering invoice 728-1313-24 in the amount of $12,270 for the time period of May 28, 2023 through July 1st, 2023, leaving a remaining balance of $12,270 on this contract. Can I get a motion to approve? Thank you, Commissioner Bisecker. Can I get a motion, a second of that motion? Thank you, Commissioner Ortel. None calling for further discussion, so all in favor of approval of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously with those in the meeting. 6.4, no action this evening. 6.5, MDOT roundabout utility relocation project. 6.5A specifically, requesting motion to approve digital engineering invoice 728-1310.02203 in the amount of $26,660 for the time period of May 28, 2023 through July 1st, 2023, leaving a remaining balance of $40,614.80 on this contract. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Commissioner Griffey motions to approve. Can I get a second? Thank you, Commissioner Ertel. None calling for further discussion, so I'll request all those in favor of approving the motion as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. 6.5B, motion to approve digital engineering invoice 728-1310.02204 in the amount of $5,068 for the time period of April 2nd, 2023 through July 1st, 2023, leaving a remaining balance of $35,546.80 on this contract. Can I get a motion to approve? Guys, y'all are gonna have to help me out when you're not in attendance on the meeting. Bisecker motions to approve. Can I get a second? Commissioner Ertel, thank you. Seconds the motion. None calling for further discussion. All in favor of approval of this motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. 6.6, miscellaneous construction engineering project. 6.6A specifically, requesting a motion to approve digital engineering invoice 23R00024.007-02 in the amount of $980 for the time period of May 28th, 2023 through July 1st, 2023 on the GIS integration and maintenance project. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Griffey. Can I get a second? Second. Thank you, Commissioner Ertel. All in favor of approval of this motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Moves us to financials in section 7. Requesting a motion to approve payment of docket of claims in total amount of $69,579.80 as attached. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion by Commissioner Bisecker. Can I get a second? Second by Commissioner Ertel. All in favor of approval of this motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Motion to acknowledge payment of the unapproved docket of claims as detailed in section 6 that we just went through, in total amount of $46,228 as attached. Can I get a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ertel, second by Commissioner Griffey. All in favor of approval of this motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. 7.1C, motion to approve payment of customer deposit refund register in the total amount of $4,011.52 is attached here too. Can I get a motion to approve? Commissioner Ertel, motion to approve. Can I get a second? Commissioner Bisecker motions, seconds the motion to approve. All in favor of approval of this motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Old business tonight, there is none. New business is 9.1. Motion to hold a rate study workshop conducted by Dr. Alan Bearfield on Thursday, August 17th, 2023 at 11 a.m. in the district meeting room located at 4425 Parkton Drive, Diamond Head, Mississippi. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
So I have a initial motion to approve by Commissioner Griffey, second by Commissioner Ertel. All in favor of approval of this motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And aye. Motion carries unanimously. Finally, motion to adjourn. Let me read the motion specifically, seeking a motion to hold the next meeting, the Board of Commissioners, on August the 10th, 2023 at 4 p.m. The Diamond Head City Hall Chambers, 5000 Diamond Head Circle, Diamond Head, Mississippi. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Commissioner Ertel seconds the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.